What the fuck?
Fix your damn microphone, Lumpy. Get
The fucking thing keeps falling.
Well, just tighten it up. That's what you do. That's what the screws are for.
Tighten it up, Lumpy. That's what they
Professional
say.
outfit.
Tighten it up.
This is a professional outfit
I
here.
know.
Yeah,
Sincerely.
the gear guy can't get his mic right.
We need to hire a new sound guy.
Oh, man.
You guys don't pay me enough to do this
especially
shit.
for what we're paying for this shit. My goodness.
Seriously.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, step right in, it's a funky display. Talking shit, today's the vibe we portray. No filters, no rules, just letting it flow. Strap in, folks, it's the shit show. Welcome to the shit show, buckle up tight. We dropping raw truth, keeping it light. Laughs and chaos, that's how we play. Talking shit today, all night, all day. All day.
Welcome back, fellas.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Episode 22.
Episode 22. This is our All-American episode.
All-American apple pies and hot dogs.
Let's
That's right.
go.
It's funny that you're mentioning hot dogs because now we're mentioning hot dogs probably far too many times. We're going to avoid the Glizzy Fest this time around.
This is like episode 3 in a row that we've talked about hot dogs. Something's
Right.
weird about that.
Yeah, but leave it to Red to bring up food. So
Hey, look, I am what I am.
This is true. So, Red and X, we have some special guests today.
yes, we do. And I'm super excited for this. Back in episode 16, we had the opportunity to go through 3 absolutely fantastic bottles.
Indeed.
So these 3 different barrels that were this Rubenesque, is this magic in a bottle that we found, this blue corn. And you know that I'm always looking for something different and unique.
Oh, yeah.
So when those came around, I think, Red, you tagged me on a Facebook group that was showing these bottles. So went, grabbed them, we opened them, and those were our very first legendary bottles. We just absolutely love them.
I was not there for that episode, but I was sitting there listening to it at my house I got 2 of the 3 bottles, and I was sipping both of them, listening, going, yeah, no, these were magic in a bottle.
Oh,
I
my
need more
goodness.
of them.
So ever since then, I was like, hey, I wonder if we can get Gary from Wood Hat Spirits on. And lo and behold, we're going to have Gary from Wood Hat Spirits on. I'm so excited for that. And then as it stands, the conversation that Gary and I had leading up to this, he's like, have you heard of Irene Tan? I'm like, no, not yet, but I'm looking right now. He's like, listen, when I'm on here, we absolutely have to bring her on. So guess what?
We have her, too.
We have Irene on as well. So, and I think what's really fun in the little bit that I get to look up on folks is that I think Single Barrel Queen, I've seen that written in a few places in reference to Irene. So
that's fun.
Super excited.
That's a fancy sounding title.
Isn't it though? All right. Well, let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right. So Gary, Irene, you're on the line?
Well, good to be here, guys. Looking forward to this.
Thanks for being here.
We're looking forward to it, too.
So Gary, I wanted to go ahead and maybe start with you and just say, first off, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass in any way, shape, or form. Those 3 Rubenesque bottles that I had were some of my favorite bottles that I've had ever. So I still have a little bit left. I'm savoring every little drop that I've gotten. I can't wait. And you've also helped provide for the show a very special bottle that we have not touched yet. So I'm eager to know a little bit more about that. And then if you can go into just letting us know, like, how did you get here? You know, where did Wood Hat Spirits come from? What inspired that? And, you know, kind of what's the path that you walked to get where you are now?
Cool. Well, you know, you got some bottles of the Rubenesque. Are they in front of you when you're looking at them?
Yes, sir.
So you got a cast strength.
Yes, sir.
You have a regular at 100 proof, right? Do you know what Rubenesque means?
Tell me.
Rubenesque is that's painter that did all the big full-bodied naked women back in the day.
Love that.
So to be Rubenesque means to be full-bodied. And if you look at that label, that she's nude. You can't put a nude on a whiskey bottle in this country, but there's one. You think she's only wearing gloves. That's all she's got on.
Well, and a hat, right?
And a hat. Yeah, she's
A
got
wooden
gloves and a
hat.
hat.
That's how I like.
It's a wooden.
I love that. So, yeah.
If you look at the regular whiskey bottle, just to prove she's nude, there's a little tramp stamp. Love her crack.
I love that. So I think that's a fantastic story. And I've been, I brag about this bottle a lot. And so I've shared it with friends, and I've been able to get a few more people to go and look for this specific thing and get turned on to what you guys are doing over there at Wood Hat.
So that's, the Rubenesque was one of our very early ones. It's been it's a mainstay ever since. But that's a blue corn and wheat, 75 blue corn and 25% wheat, and that's one of our early blue corns. We had 60 different blue corns since that time.
Wow!
And we own our own genetics now on several different blue corns. I think we're the only people that I know of. Maybe there's another one in Illinois now that actually owns their own genetics, but I think we're the only ones that really own our own genetics we make. So you heard Field of Glass, Glass. We're genetics to glass.
I love that.
That's interesting.
Well, and on this 250 bottle that's in front of us, we noticed that it said seed to glass, and that's the first time we've seen it framed just that way.
We ponder that a lot because it's, we're doing things that we don't have good phrasing for, heritage, we don't have good definitions for some of the things we're doing because it hasn't been done before. So there aren't distilleries that own their own genetics. The whole business of whiskey and particularly bourbon in this country is left up to somebody else to choose the corn, because we just buy the cheapest thing out there, and that's the cheapest thing is what we make for ethanol cars. That's what we make for cows and pigs, and it's just cheap and it's available everywhere.
Sure.
It's a damn poor reason to use it for something to drink, So we have looked at corns. We searched for corns for several years, and we looked at this corn and that corn and every kind of thing. And then one day I said, wait a minute. All these corns we're looking at were created for some other purpose. Why don't we create corn just for whiskey? So that's what we started to do in 19. And now we've actually created totally unique corns. We have 75 different unique corns that we created just for whiskey.
Wow.
And we're climbing and kind of narrowing the field and making it better all the time.
So I have to ask, when you say that you own the genetics, did you actually file patent on these?
Patents on genetics are different.
Sure.
And I explain it like this. If you wrote a book, you can't patent every word in that book.
Sure.
But you can control the production and the distribution of that book. And particularly if somebody else was to charge to read that book or to publish that book, then you can go after them. But as a patent, it doesn't relate directly to genetics.
That's fair.
Now, if I created a new gene, like a gene that would be resistant to Roundup, for instance,
like BT corn.
You know exactly where I was going.
Or BT corn. Those are different. Those are unique and different that were created by that person. But we don't do that. We have never created genes that were not corn.
That was nice of you to call it the person. I think that was too kind.
So anyway, yes, but we're the only people that are going to have that corn because it's made for us, and they're crossed. We raise corn in Guadalajara, Mexico, and our hand breeding is done down there in the wintertime. That's why we get two years in one, because we grew a crop here, and then we go back and say we need to adjust it here. We want more of that flavor on the butter on the back end. Okay, guys, where did that come from? What were the parent stocks that probably came from? Make another genetics just like that, but change this. And then we go back in October and plant that in Guadalajara, Mexico, and then the seed will be ready in April so we can plant it the next spring. So we can make fast changes in different ways, and we are totally in control of the genetics that way.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. So some things I heard is your background is as an agronomist. Is that correct?
Yes. I have a master's degree in agronomy.
So how did you apply that degree once you received it? It didn't go straight to spirits, right?
No, I worked for the university as an extension agronomist for a while. Prior to getting my degree, I worked in India
Oh,
as a
wow.
Peace Corps volunteer and working in corn production and other cereal grains. But then I came back, got a master's, and then worked for the University of Missouri as extension agronomist, helping farmers grow corn. Then I managed a farmers co-op for about 18 years, and I did the very same thing basically, except it's on the commercial side. And then I worked for Independent Stave Company. You know, they're the largest barrel maker in the world. But I didn't make barrels. I took all their scrap material and converted it into horticulture products, primarily as soil agents or soil coverings like mulch and potting mixes and so forth.
Wow.
And and during that time, I thought, no, wait a minute. The barrels for the world come from Missouri, and a lot of the corn comes out of the Blue Hill. It's just right across the, river to Kentucky. Why don't we make bourbon here? And instead of making it out of cow pig feed, let's make it out of what people eat. And people eat blue corn more than any other corn in the world.
Outside of the U.S., though, right?
Yeah, it's outside the U.S. We eat a little bit. There's a few blue corn chips. There's a little bit of blue corn tortillas, some blue corn masa, but it's not significant. But blue corn is blue because of anthocyanins, and anthocyanins are key because that's where antioxidants come from. So with anything that's blue, raspberries, blackberries, plums, anything we eat because it's blue, has antioxidants. That's the reason we do it. Well, blue corn is the only cereal grain that has antioxidants. And that's in the corn cultures. People knew that if you ate blue corn, you just tend to be a little healthier. And that's the reason it's still around today for thousands of years.
So I got to say,
better corn.
Sorry, Gary. I got to say, you just gave me you gave me ammunition to get with my wife. I'm drinking blue corn whiskey like it's good for me, honey.
Just say, so that Rubenesque is good for my blood, I'm hearing.
That's right.
It's got antioxidants.
Yeah.
Sold.
There you go. You can ride that horse a ways, but
I love that. So I also did some reading.
Actually, there are some antioxidants still in there because anthocyanins, if you put our clear whiskey, our white dog that's made out of pure blue corn, you put it in the sunlight, it'll turn pink.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it is interesting. It's also embarrassing. You take it to a liquor store and they call you and say, "Hey, Gary, your clear turned pink."
That's amazing.
And you're embarrassed. You go up and pick it up, take some more back, and then a month later they say, "It's turning pink again." And so you come back and get the same stuff you took last month, and you're stuck in the corner. You don't know what to do with it, and it's clear.
It sounds like you're talking from experience.
It is, but it's somehow or other the anthocyanins in there are pH dependent, and they change with some very minute changes in pH. And yes, there is some antioxidants still in there, but they're pretty small.
Hey, if there's a little bit, there's a way.
There you go.
Wow. And I knew I was going to learn a lot this episode, and that's something that I'm going to tuck away in the things I've learned. So I have to ask also, you put on a lot of tours. I know as we've been talking a little bit to lead up to this, that you've been doing a lot of showings, a lot of tours, putting on classes and curating a lot of things. When people come to visit Woodhat, what are they going to see that's unique and different?
They're going to see bourbons made out of different corns. And the other thing is that our process is different. We've kind of touted the fact that we're probably the most environmentally positive distiller in this country. And nobody's arguing with me. So I'm sticking with it.
There you go.
So, it takes a lot of BTUs to make whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You can use natural gas, you can use electricity, you can use a lot of stuff. We use scrap wood from a whiskey barrel factory, which is just down the road. And I used to work there, so I know about all the scrap there. So that's where we start, and all of our BTUs come from that. We use burnt scrap wood to heat up. We use ambient temperature to cool down. We use geothermal cooling on the condenser. We use tanks out back. We got a radiator out of a D8 cat with a fan. We do different things like that. We don't own a chiller. Never have.
Okay.
So my whole electric, my box in my electric, when my electric comes in,
Mm-hmm.
it's a 200-watt box.
Wow.
That's a house.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of a 75-horse chiller, I have a used 1-horse swimming pool pump that pumps my hot mash to a tank outside and drops 100 degrees out of it. When you cook, you're 200 and the yeast got to be 100 degrees.
I
So
love
just
that
dump
so
it in
much.
that tank. And then tonight, Mother Nature's going to take it down again for me without any electric. And if that doesn't happen in August fast enough, we'll get another tank. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a tank than a 75-horse chiller
Yeah.
and use electricity. So that's kind of what we do. We grow our own corn local, so transportation is, sometimes we can actually go from the combine directly into the grinder,
Wow.
it's right here. And then when we get through using all the starches out of the corn, we feed all the mash directly to cows. We don't take the water out. We don't spend any energy doing it. We just pump it straight to a tank, goes straight to a stock tank and feeds cows.
Wow.
So we're just really conscientious about how much energy it takes to make good whiskey.
It's a feeding cows corn pudding.
So
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously this isn't something that happened overnight. Like you've been tinkering at this for quite a while. How long do you think it took for you to feel like this is how I want to do it? This is right.
Well, I started the company in 10, and I distilled the first batch in July of 13.
Okay.
So
But I had to design. I had to come up with the concepts and design and actually build.
So you got 16 years in the hole on this right now.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And I was doing some stuff without the piece of paper before that.
Say it ain't so. You have to learn and experiment, right?
Exactly. I made beer for a while,
Okay.
and then it just became uninteresting. Then I think, well, you get fat drinking beer, and you might as well, you get a headache, you get a hangover, because you got all your methanols and your long chain carbons are in there for the hangovers. If you put it through a still, then you can take out the hangover and the headache to a great extent. So I started distilling. Then I thought, this is pretty boring, So then I started mixing fruit with it. I'm a big fruit guy, so
Okay.
I started putting fruit in it and started making cordials out of that white dog. And that was pretty exciting. And I thought, why don't we just do this for real and make whiskey? Put it in a barrel and do that. So
what does
started
whiskey
doing
look
legal.
like in Missouri outside of what you're doing? Because I'm familiar with a couple
We're doing-
brands that I've gotten out of Missouri, but there's not a lot that I've seen. What's your take on that?
Well, we can't ship from Missouri. We import 99.9% of all of our whiskey in Missouri.
Hmm.
And we do that with 2 different distributors. They don't play fair. They got all the money, and they own the legislators.
Okay.
That's all I'm probably going to say on the radio.
Fair enough.
I mean,
No, fair. I
Yeah,
understood.
We understand that. That seems to be a common thread in a lot of places.
if you look at American Distilling Institute, American Craft Spirits Association, you'll probably find out that the people who have won the most awards, and I may have to clarify this. No, I couldn't say the most, but I know that the best in categories of all 4 categories were Missouri. This last year, David Wiglar, this is 630, he beats me a lot of times. But we made major awards above and beyond what traditionally, where traditionally some of the whiskeys and bourbons are made.
Okay.
The barrels all come from here. A lot of the grain comes from here. We have excellent weather here because of the variance in the temperatures and barometric pressures. It's an excellent place to age whiskey. We don't grow good barley here, but we grow corn and wheat.
Sure.
We don't use barley or rye because we don't grow either one of them, and that's one of the things we decided when we started this, is we were going to use what we grow local. And that doesn't include barley or rye. So we use wheat as the cereal grain. So.
Well, I can say good choice.
Indeed.
As a fan, I can say good choice.
Yeah, it's
So-
rare that you see something that is just only corn and wheat without anything else in it. So I'm excited because I like both of those in my bottles.
Yeah. Well, that bottle you're just about to open is 100% corn.
Well, we would definitely like to get into that bottle.
And I do love 100%
You know.
corn liquor.
Well,
But it's there's 5 different corns in that bottle.
yeah, well, I think this
You
is
know.
a great opportunity for us to segue. Before we actually get into what's in our glass, Lumpy's getting twitchy over here.
The bottle keeps staring at me, man.
It is turned to look at him
Yeah.
directly. He's staring at the label the whole time.
So I wanted to take this opportunity to bring Irene into the conversation. So you partnered together to select and make this this bottle that we've got in front of us. So Irene, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got where you're at and how you came to this junction with Gary to, you know, with this collaboration and others?
Sure. Yeah, so I was a software engineer for 40 years. I finally actually did quit that job because making whiskey is way more fun. But I got into the business because I had too many bottles of wine in my basement. So
Okay.
I needed 1,200 bottles of wine in my basement. I'm like, oh shit, man, I think I need to maybe own part of a store or something. So I did. I partnered with the guy I was buying those 1,200 bottles of wine from, and I said, hey, if you want to start another store, can I, invest and be a silent partner? And he was like, yeah, actually, I'm opening one in your town. I was like, great. So that was just back in 2013. So the idea was it was just going to be storage for my wine, right? But
Good reason, good motivation.
Very, very quickly it turned into, oh no, I think I need to pay attention to whiskey, and that was the charter that my partner gave me. He's like, look, and it was February 2014. He goes, look, I'm the wine guy. You take care of the brown spirits. I'm like, okay, whatever they are, because I really didn't drink whiskey. I might have had a whiskey when I was maybe late teens, early 20s, some Johnny Walker Blue or somebody's special birthday, and that was it. So I really didn't have any exposure to whiskey at all. So I was consulting up in Franklin, Mass at the time, and so I would go to liquor stores in Massachusetts at least once, twice a week, almost every week when they had tasting events. And within a year, built this incredible, wall of whiskey that I wish I still had. I mean, I had, all of the Japanese whiskeys, like the Nikkas from 10 year to 21 year, the Yamazakis, the Hakushus, Springbank 16 local barley. I mean, everything I tasted, I go, oh, this is really good. Now suddenly I discovered that actually I have a palate for this stuff. So in that time, besides tasting all of those things, really built up a palate that I didn't know I had. So then fast forward to 2019, I bought my own store. It's in the process of selling the other store just because it was we bought a lot of barrels when in my first store, but it was always a contentious thing because this wine versus whiskey. But my barrel picks were, even back then when I thought I did know what I was doing, were people were commenting on how much better that they were than some of the other stores that had them, and I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I just pick what I think tastes good. But funny thing is, in 2015, one of our very first barrels for the store was Angel's Envy, when they used to bring around the 3 barrels, the 3 blends, and then they brought the cylinder and the pipette and all of that. And so literally my very first barrel pick was a blend of Angel's Envy. I had no idea that, that 10 years later I'd be doing this like full time and all. So in fact, my latest Angel's Envy pick last year, I named it a decade, because it was literally a decade later to kind of mark this whole thing, when I started blending, unbeknownst to me that this was going to be my future. So when we bought the store in 2019, because I was not allowed to buy a lot of whiskey in my other store, I decided to buy a barrel of whiskey every other week.
Wow.
So year 1 was 26 barrels, year 2 was 26 barrels, and one of those barrels, it was very early in the game, was the Whistle Pig 15-year calf strength
Oh,
that they let me blend,
wow.
which was like mind-blowing for me, because I went up there and I was like, okay, I already bought, I think I bought like 6 barrels of Whistle Pig before then. So, so they go, hey, you're like a biggest, and my store is tiny. It's only 1,000 square feet. And in the middle of nowhere, more cows than people. 5,025 people, 8,000 cows, I think.
So you're saying we need to take a road trip to Connecticut?
I think you're gonna have to. It's not that far. It's just a plane ride away.
There we go.
But the Whistle Pig 15-year, they had 50 barrels of the whole country. I destroyed 3 barrels in the process of making mine. So I met Pete Lynch, who was at the time the master blender. And so we tasted the barrels, and he's like, man, you've been here for 2 hours. You're like not like any other single barrel buyer. Most people would have tasted it and, already picked something. I couldn't even tell them about it. He goes, you're just, we're having conversations. And, of course, I always bring stuff when I visit distilleries, because one of the things that I realized when you visit distilleries, people who work at distilleries only mostly taste what they make, right?
Sure.
Outside of that, unless, they have access to like what I have in the store, you really don't get to taste all of that. So to me, it's always kind of good to bring stuff to them so that if whatever they present to me I don't like, I can show them what I like and why I like it, and why I think that their stuff, not to diss them, but this is what it's missing. I figure it's a nice example of, show and tell, instead of saying, oh, it's tough, things, which I know how hard people work to put stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to, make them, feel small that it wasn't good enough.
Oh, sure.
So I bring examples. Yeah. So anyway, so fast forward to, I was like, Pete, these 3 barrels, the 3 barrel samples you gave me, the first one kind of sucks. I know we're just meeting for the first time today, but very one-dimensional. And he tastes, he goes, oh man, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I said, you're busy. I said, but second barrel is awesome, great palate. And third one is really nice nose, but very thin on the palate. So do you think I could blend? I said, if I have to charge, close to $200 for this bottle, I can't justify buying any of these by themselves. So he looked at me and he was like, sure, why not? Let's blend. So we did. So he let me blend. It took me 3 tries. And so as soon as the blend came together, so that's one of the things that, it's a signature thing for me. When a blend comes together and it's just right, it just smells amazing. It's
Okay.
like if you're just off by that 5%, 10%, it doesn't smell quite right, and we'll segue that to later to this 250 blend, which added that last barrel for the same reason. So when the blend is just perfect, it smells really nice, and the palate's full, and that's one of my signatures, and it has a long finish. However young the whiskey, it doesn't matter. I try and create as long a finish as I can, despite the age of the whiskey.
I love that.
So, yeah, so then, of course, then after that, there was like barrels and barrels, and like, it was crazy how many barrels you bought. But about 3 years into it, I noticed that the quality, because, it was such a boom, right, because of COVID, so everybody was putting like 2, 3, 4-year-old stuff out there that was just really mediocre.
Okay.
But everybody else in my state, they were like, what the hell is she doing? She must be a multimillionaire. She's buying all these barrels. Like, we can't, like, sell barrels like this. Unbeknownst to them, I was not interested in selling my barrel out in an hour or 2 hours, which I have, which annoys me, because that means I got to go buy another barrel. I know, as a retailer, you should, oh, that's great. I bought a barrel sold out in 6 hours. To me, it's like, oh, dang, now I got to go find another one.
I gotta do it all over again.
Yeah. Exactly, So for me, I had this, apparently I thought I didn't know I had the vision for this, but I had this vision that I was going to build a Disneyland for whiskey drinkers.
Yes,
Because
please.
there's no,
We'll take the pre-sale. We're ready.
There's no reason to come to my town, right? Because there's no hotels. The restaurants are okay. So one restaurant is pretty good. The rest of it is just, mediocre. And there's lots of cows and very, very beautiful roads. But there is no, you can't stay over, right? Because there's no Airbnb. So you have to go elsewhere. So why would anybody want to come here unless there was something special about the place where you could find things you would never find anywhere else? So that began my journey of going, okay, now I'm rejecting more barrel picks than I'm buying.
Okay.
And people will come to me and go, well, we heard we should come talk to you. So it got to a point where anybody wanted to come to the state, the distributors, first thing they do, they bring it to me first. If I said it wasn't good enough, then they didn't bring it in, which was kind of crazy. I never thought that I had attained that kind of status. They're like, we'll see what she thinks. And some of my salespeople will go, oh, she bought 3 cases or something new, not even a single barrel. And then the job was done. I should have gotten commission because everybody else would just buy because I bought. I'm like, what the heck?
That's great.
And most of it was kind of, I don't pay a lot of attention to all of that.
Sure.
But people tell me because, I had my day job. I was busy doing that. And this was just kind of like my fun. And my fun got to be way more fun each time I did it. So to a point where when people would bring me single barrel picks and they said, well, you don't really carry out core stuff. So we really can't, I'm like, then why did you bring it to me? I don't need it. I mean, I think you need me no more than I need you, right? So they go, all right, we'll let you blend. So I started doing a bit more blending that way. And then all of a sudden, like I was buying a whole bunch of Garrison Brothers barrels, which, are pricey. I started that in my first store. I bought 22 single barrels. So it's kind of a crazy thing all by itself. But what I started doing was blending them. When I bought them in single barrels, I buy 2 or 4 at a time. And then I'll let people taste them. I'll name them all different things. I name all my barrels, and we'll get back to the single barrel cream thing a little bit. But I was like, yeah, this is really good, right? This is, what was the one I had that people just absolutely love? It was bittersweet chocolate, and it was blended with sugar cookies or something like that.
Oh, say less.
This is really good by themselves.
Okay.
Blend 2 together 50-50, and magic happens, and they all look at me like, that's genius. That's really good. So guess what? Now they can buy 2 bottles. It was a great way to sell it. But I didn't do that to sell more bottles. I did it because I thought it gave my customers the opportunity to be creative and get a better whiskey. So, yeah, so that's why there's, I stopped counting at 70-something barrels, but I think I probably it'll be 7 years this October, probably over 200 single barrels of not just whiskey, gin, rum, name it. It was available, it was good, I bought it. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got into all of this. Thank you. And then people started calling me to make blends for them. Like Kings County reached out to me and said, hey, can you go source some whiskey and like make some stuff? Like, what do you want? Don't care, make it good. So I started, getting outside of the U.S. So I went bought some whiskey from Clonakilty. In my brain, I wanted to make malt blends. Don't ask me why. Well, I love malt. But that's my first choice until I met Gary, and then now, the kind of corn he makes, okay, that's a very close second.
Wow.
But so I made 3 blends for Kings County Distillery called Kingscote 1, 2, and 3. The first one sold out. Second one is more than halfway sold out. The third one was a much bigger batch, and it's starting to sell. And so those were the 3 that I created, and we sent it to San Francisco and ADI. I picked a gold medal there. Which was pretty cool for my first time blending, and so I met
and
Gary
this was
ADI
Kings County?
2 years ago. Kings County, yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the very first one used Kings County juice, a teaspoon, but that was it.
Wow. Yeah, I've had
because it was all. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was all malt, right? So they had a single malt they made, so we teaspooned some of it in. So I bought a bunch of whiskey from Clonakilty, about 6 single barrels from them for my store. Some of them were split so that I could use them for my project. And then I wanted to buy American single malt. And, at the time, we're talking 3-4 years ago, not a lot of people making really good American single malt, but Virginia Distillery, one of my favorites on the East Coast, they worked with me. Yeah. So they gave me some really, really nice barrels to work with. And a little bit of clout just because I also am a blender for the Whiskey Tribe guys, the Crowder Barrel. Where I get to go hunt and pick and choose and make whatever I want to make.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. So that's how it kind of all happened.
Yeah. Speaking of single malts, Virginia Distilling Company was the very first single malt that I've had, and it was fantastic. It turned me on to the idea of the single malt. And then Westward Distilling out in Portland, Oregon. I've had several of their bottles and loved them. So. Yeah, definitely a fan.
Right.
For a new category, there's a lot of good products out there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I'm doing a segment on a breakout session at the ADI conference in Miami this year on the don'ts and don'ts of American single malt. So when they asked me to do that, I go, I don't work in the distillery. I've done some distilling and all of that in class, and when I took I'm a sucker for information. So I took a whole bunch of courses, get certified in all crazy things, even went to school in Springbank and all, and just so I can learn. But I said, look, I've only done it in practice, never in real life. They go, no, we know that, but you have bought more single barrels than anybody else, hence the single barrel queen.
Well,
thing. And
and then I also have to give you an opportunity for some more props if we can do that. So level 4 whiskey sommelier, right?
Mhm. Yep.
How did that come about, and what other certificates have you gathered in your journey so far?
So that was in 2018. So in 2015, when I started getting into this, being in the business, I was like, there's wine sommelier stuff. So I took a bunch of wine courses, like the wizard courses, and then what's the certified? I'm a certified specialist of spirits from the Society of Wine Educators. But it wasn't something that was very whiskey specific, but short of going to Europe, to Scotland to do this. So I started scouting around, and I saw this thing online in Austin, whiskey sommelier school. Then I was like, I don't know, it's like $4,000. That's a lot of money, right? What if it's like, what if it's just a fly by night thing? So I waited from 2015 till 2018 when I go, okay, I got to just do this. Just suck it up and just pay the $4,000 and do it. Oh my God, no regrets. It was the best thing I ever did. So levels 1, 2, and 3, if you pay attention in class, take good notes, you will pass them.
Okay.
But level 4 is there's unless you get all 5 sections, you pass all 5 sections above 70%, you are going to fail.
Wow. Okay.
So rather nerve-wracking. The theory part and all the written part, that was really easy. The most nerve-wracking part was the last part, that they give you 12 blind tastings, right?
Oh,
and they group them in groups of 3. So you have to write your notes. I mean, they give the list ahead of time, the 36 whiskeys that it could be. But out of the 36, only 12 are going to show up in there. And so it was pretty nerve-wracking to do that, because I took my class in April, and I have oak allergies. Oak pollen allergies, and in Austin it's a little bit earlier, so of course I show up the first day, I'm fine. The second day of my nose starts to swell up, and I'm like, oh shit. Exactly. So my primary, I smell mostly out of my right side. It's definitely a dominant one, so I have to smell the left side, right? But that's okay. It was funny because I realized that I still am able to taste texture. And there's a lot to talk about that after as to how I blend, and Gary will tell a little more about that too. So even though I couldn't smell as well as I wanted to, I was still able to. I think I scored like an 89 on that out of 100.
Wow!
Because the two things that stood out in the first and the last one was they put a Balcones single malt, and that Balcones whiskey is one that I can smell a mile away and go, yeah, that's Balcones. The Balcones single malt, the tasting, I'm not even gonna taste it. Was how confident I was. It was pretty wild. And then the last one was the Lafroy 10. They're like, oh, it's quarter cans. I'm like, nope, that's Lafroy 10 right on my nose. I'm not even going to question it. But where I got tripped up on was between, so like the bourbons and the rye, no problem. I identified them, got all the notes right. But it was the malt, because I couldn't smell as well. I could tell it was malt, but I didn't get the memo. Somewhere I missed it. It was country, so like all the Irish was together. And then all the Scotch was together. So I roll my notes and I go, I'm not sure, it could be a space side, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as we got the fourth batch, can I have my notes from the last one back, because I want to change it to Irish whiskey. But nonetheless, did really well. So to me, to have been able to like do that and score as high as I did, I was like, okay, maybe I have a clue as to what I'm talking about.
Good for you.
But yeah, so texture, when you can't smell something, you can, on your palate, the way that I blend, I can still kind of map out like some whiskeys are very left-sided, some are very right-sided, and some are, if they're hot weather stuff, they're kind of spiky in the middle, so I can have all of that. So when I have a cold, which is very rare, I have sinus infection, I can still grade whiskeys minus the nose part, and later I can just go back and nose that we haven't retasted. So
you're like a savant. That's amazing.
I don't know. It's something that's great. I know what it is. It is the whole logical brain thing for doing software for all these years, right? You start to recognize patterns and you start to find things. Oh, this is something that's repeating. So let's find a way to identify it. Because in software we have the design patterns of software. Mm-hmm. So I feel like in whiskeys there are like tasting patterns on there, which is still hard for me to explain to other people because I mean, the people have taken. I taught one of these courses in a summer school in Austin, and Balcones taught how they blend. Compass Box came and taught how they blend, and I got 45 minutes on how I blend. And some of the distillers that showed up, they're like, yours was really useful. We use it in our distillery, and they're like, I was like, you should patent. I'm like, no, it's not about that. I'm trying to develop a language that people can use, right? And if my legacy is that people continue to use it and improve on it, man, that's awesome, because it's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard to talk about tasting notes, because everybody has got a different. Grew up in different places, smell different things. So when I say like a super ripe pink guava that's about to fall off the tree versus a pink guava that you find in supermarket, completely different notes, right? So that's why I don't do a lot of tasting notes that way. I'll give some common ones, but I'm like, you taste what you taste, but guess what, you can smell what you smell, and if you like the smell, that's good enough, right? It smells good to you, that's good. Do you have to say the 50 things you smell? Not necessary. And then when you taste it on your palate, is it pleasing on your palate? Does it like get spiky and make you, feel like, oh my God, it's burning my palate? No, if it doesn't do that and it feels like smooth and waxy and, creamy, that's awesome, right? And then when you swallow the whiskey, does it disappear? Like a Macallan, right? It smells great, you taste it, and then you go to swallow it, you go, wait, something happened, like mid-palate, somebody stole my whiskey, right? So
Where did it go?
You want to be able to. Yeah, exactly. So you want to have a whiskey that after you swallow and on your retro, you're like, wait, I'm still tasting this. I don't need another sip for a little while. For 5 minutes later, I'm still tasting it. So if I can blend a whiskey that has those three features, I'm done.
Well, we are definitely going to try this on the 250 here, but go ahead, Red.
You actually just answered part of the question I was going to ask, but a recurring theme is X and Lumpy like to consider themselves basic bitches when it comes to running palate and tastes and smells. And I'm not much higher than them. I'll be real about that. But what could somebody who maybe doesn't know, you see those tasting notes like you said, it tastes like butterscotch and candy and all this other stuff. What could somebody do if they don't have the ability to like pull the flavors right now? Is there a way they could like train or practice to be able to pull more flavors or smells out of their experiences so they can get better at it?
Yeah, so I know there's all these nosing kits out there, but I've used some of them. I think they're more useful for wines than they are for whiskey. So I've got a couple of different whiskey kits, and so like when was one of the ones that, so when I stopped using them was when they said toast. So to me, when you're supposed to smell toast, well, in my mind, I should be smelling something coming out of my toaster, right?
Fair. Yeah,
that's what I would think.
But it didn't smell like that at all. I was like, oh man, So I was like, okay. But so what I think people do is they just adjust and go, oh, so that should be toast, which is why I think a lot of it's kind of like BS that way. But smell the real things, right? Because there's really no right or wrong nosing, notes, so to speak, right? I mean, go buy like a salted caramel thing, and then smell it, right? Keep it in like a little glass bottle or something, so you get to keep the essence of it, and then just train and smell it and go, okay, it's this. But promise, if you're reading tasting notes that somebody wrote, then you're trusting that they didn't just put stuff in there.
You're influenced.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also by power of suggestion, if I say, oh, I get cherries, I go, oh my God, yes, we get cherries. Well, what kind of cherries do you get? Do you get dark bean cherries? Do you get maraschino cherries? Or do you get sour cherries? So there's all the different of those things. So I think, how is it important for people to know to identify those things? Probably not. Yes, you can buy the real things that you think it should smell like and smell them and kind of train yourself that way. But I mean, don't we just want to drink whiskey and enjoy it instead of having to geek out about it?
Amen. And speaking of, that's a good transition, because X is over here holding this beautiful 250. I'm going to say, we've seen a lot of bottles on this podcast, and between the three of us have many, many bottles in our personal collections. The label on this 250, and we'll talk about, and Gary will have you talk about this and how you two came together to blend this. That label is so beautiful. I took a picture of it and sent it to Mrs. Big Red, and I'm like, this is what we're drinking tonight, and this label is gorgeous.
Yeah. So let me just say too, I love the bottle that you settled on, just because I see that it's consistent. It's a gorgeous bottle. I am a fan of the visuals, and one of my favorite bottles that I've gotten was from Kings County Distilling. It's just that simple lead weighted cork, the top, the simplicity of their bottle, the simplicity of their type font. I've kept that bottle. Like I finished it a long while ago, but I kept the bottle just because I love that. So, but before we get into what's in our glass, we have to go through and say,
yes. So, if you're enjoying the conversation and the wonderful information Gary and Irene are giving, please find us anywhere you can find podcasts: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Like, comment, follow, share, send this to other people, spread Irene's information, spread Gary's stories, spread the tale of a couple of guys sitting in an RV talking shit today with everybody you know.
and DM your friends like you're sending them memes in your board at work. Okay. So let everybody know about it. And Irene and Gary, you want to tell the people where they can find you as well?
Absolutely. Gary, go ahead.
Yeah, I live in New Florence, Missouri, and it's New Florence is north of Cuba, but it's south of Mexico. It's north of Japan, but it's south of Louisiana, and just not too far from Paris. Does that help you any?
That works. What about on the socials?
On the social, it's we can find us on the Facebook, Instagram, and some YouTube stuff at woodhatspirits.com.
Perfect.
Just look up Wood Hat. You're going to find, if you look up Wood Hat, you're going to land one or two places, either Wood Hat Spirits or Johann Michelson's Wood Hat, who taught me how to make wood hats.
Well, okay.
And Irene?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my source is Canterbury Liquors in Canterbury, Connecticut, but everything is Whiskey Mentors. Whiskey without the E. WhiskeyMentors.com. I don't update it as much as I should. I'm going to, but social media, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, it's all just Whiskey Mentors. And if you just Google Irene and Whiskey, there's a whole bunch of shit about me out there, apparently.
I guarantee you'll find it. Absolutely.
That's what X did, so he knew what he was talking about.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing going, but Lumpy.
Hey, X, what's in our glass?
Gary, would you like to get us kicked off here as we pop the cork on this? Hold on, let's get a good sound.
Sure. So this is an All-American. It's made out of 5 different corns. It's a 100% corn mash, but it's 5 different corns. We've made a red, white, and blue out of red corn, white corn, and blue corn for several years. But we was for this one special. You know, there's a bunch of people out there slapping a 250th anniversary on something they already make.
There's an Evan Williams 250 out there. Come on now.
Yeah, whatever, you know. But we sat down to make this just for this purpose. And we started, I guess we really seriously thought about it last fall when Irene and we really come up with it.
October, yeah, when I came to see you finally.
So we started this and thought, let's just make something for this reason. Well, if you're going to make something to celebrate this country, it's got to be corn. Corn is American. There's nothing more American than corn. And if you look at whiskey, corn whiskey is ours. You know, it's the Europeans didn't bring that here, you know. So we did set our own corn, but we use different corns. And this is made out of a red corn. This one actually would be a Buddy Butcher Red. The white corn in here could be one of 3 different white corns. But, you know, white corn doesn't have much to say. It's just, the biggest thing about white corn is not gallaudet. Doesn't sting in the front, doesn't burn in the back. And then the blue corn on the other side is several different blue corns. And then into these 3 corns, what Irene picked out here was an orange flint. And then also a potato. So when you sip it, we can walk through the different corns after you taste it. Would that be a good taste about it? And then I tell you about where the corn comes from on the palate.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, we're sitting here. We poured the glasses and we've been holding it up to the light. The color is beyond gorgeous. And we've been sitting here smelling and nosing this. And we've had a few blends on this show that were from unusual grains, or, we've had the blue corn, the Rubenesque. We've had some others that use different types of grains.
Yeah,
and
the purple corn. We were talking about that before, too.
And the purple corn that we've had from other distilleries. And there's something about non-traditional corn grain bases that you can immediately identify on the nose.
Yeah. And let me just say, Gary, before we get to taste this, first off, the legs haven't stopped at all. Like I said, I'm a visual person. And one of the things that tells me, you do not filter, right? This is basically unfiltered except for maybe the big chunky stuff that might be left behind.
Yeah, we don't filter basically.
And you can tell by what's on by the way this coats the glass. Love this.
Yeah, it's got a good, and it's going to coat your mouth like that too.
Yeah, the glass is going to be pretty hazy in a little bit.
Already. And then this
wild.
has got to be one of the darkest bourbons I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we make darker ones than this.
Oh,
this
really?
To me this is not exceptionally dark to me.
That says a lot.
Sir, we have to do some more talking.
Yeah. You should come to my birthday party on August the 15th, and we're going to open a 10-year Rubenesque.
Oh, don't say things like that to us. We might end up being there.
Oh,
Don't threaten us with a good time.
So, but
I made that barrel the day my grandson was born, and he just turned 10.
That's awesome. So,
yeah,
Irene, you spoke at a length about what the nose is for you when it smells just right.
Mm-hmm.
This must have smelled just right for you. So, how did that come to be as you were blending this? And describe for us, if you will, kind of what you were going through as you were putting this together.
So when I went to see Gary in March, they pulled probably 20-something barrels for me to try. Blue corn, it makes up almost 52%, I believe, of the blend. And I knew I wanted blue corn because I got introduced to it by another different distillery, and I was like, oh my God, people who say they don't like bourbon, what they don't like is that yellow dusty corn note, which this does not have, right? So the really nice cream corn kind of blue corn nose was, to me, I was like, okay, we're going to use blue corn. And also the waxy mouthfeel. And then I picked some red because we're making red, white, and blue, right? So the red, there's a bunch of different reds, but Gary has the Bloody Butcher red, which I think we agreed it's not as spicy as some of the other ones. So without having to use rye in your mash bill, or for me in the blend, having the red corn added the little interesting spice in the back. So then the white corn, like you said, was just there as a filler, so I can call it red, white, and blue. And then there was potato, which is pretty big up front and in the middle, but didn't have a finish. So originally it was a 13-barrel blend of 15-gallon barrels and 52-gallon barrels. And so I made the blend, and everybody's like, this is really good. I was like, nah, still missing something. So the second day when we were shooting a video, part of the video, my question was, what's in that barrel? And I literally asked that question. They go, that's orange flame corn. I go, can I try it? And as soon as they popped the bung and poured a little in my glass, I looked scared. I'm like, what, are you holding out on me? This nose is amazing. I said, I don't know how much I'm going to, but I need that. That is what I'm missing. So even though I really thought it was pretty good, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, but it was missing that spark. So as soon as I made the blend and added the orange flint corn in it, freaking magic happened. It was just like the nose was perfect, and the orange flint had a really nice, like a little citrus nose, but it was the oily mouthfeel that then got to just like carry all the flavors from the front to the back. It picked up all of the blue corn waxiness, and then just like put a layer of oil on it, so that now you can't get it out of your mouth, man. It's just all there.
I don't want to get it out of my mouth.
No, it's been coating my mouth. I haven't sipped it in a good chunk of the time you've been talking just now, and I'm still tasting it.
Right? So for most of the whiskey, I mean the 8 years was actually a little bit too over oak for me, so we used some of it because it was there, 20% of the 7 year stuff. But the 4 year, I believe that might have been that orange lit. And kind of what I found with the stuff that I tasted at Wood Hat was for the aroma portion, 4 years was the freaking sweet spot. So I know everybody else go, oh my God, I want to buy a 28-year-old bourbon. I'm going, why? Why don't you go chew on a hunk of wood instead, you know? I mean, really. It's like, or even if somebody was chasing something at Elijah Craig for I don't know how many years, so it's like, no.
Sure.
No. You know, and I don't know. I would love to be able to pull some of those samples and do a blind tasting against, something like this or something just more, 6 to 8 year.
Sure.
And have people go, oh, I don't like that one, because guaranteed they're not gonna like what they think they're gonna like. I've done it many times in my store. Like I've done other wheated bourbons against some of the Pappies, and everybody picked that one. And I go, what's that one? That one's not what you thought you liked. They're like, oh shit. I'm like, yes, education, guys.
Right.
And I save you a whole buckload of money,
And save you money. I love that. So, yeah. Gary, we're ready to talk about the palate here because Irene, you kind of segued very quickly and correctly into the mouth coat and the mouth feel and how that's going to carry everything through the palate. So yeah, we're on the palate now. So Gary, sing to us, man. Tell us what we're tasting and why this is so awesome.
So, there's whiskey has notes, and so does music. And so I talk about corn notes sometimes in terms of music because it kind of helps us, the people that have ever played an instrument, kind of relate to that. And so when you sip this, the very thing that hits you is a potato corn. And a potato corn itself is a trumpet solo.
Fair.
It's pure, it's clean, but it's up front and it's there, and then it's gone. And so when you hit this on your palate, the very first thing is you almost think you're gonna get a yellow bit corn, that burn and that fire. But it's not a burn and a fire. It's a sweet spot. It's smooth. It's pure. It's just a really intense note, like a trumpet. And then right behind that, you're going to get some orange flint up front. And then right in the midstick, because it's big. This whiskey is very big on the front side.
Yeah, it is.
The right behind that is you're going to get the blue corn. And blue corn is all smooth and up front. And it's going to be heavy on the front side. And then you're going to fall off that front note, come on into the mid palate, and you're going to get some of the white is in there, but your orange flint is going to fill the middle palate. With a little bit of red starts picking up in there. And then the red's going to bring you through the lower middle part. And on both sides, this whiskey coats everything. I mean, there's no blank spots. And that's what Irene is so good about, is making sure that the balance is right. Left and right, front and back. It's just all totally immersed in taste. So you the mid palate, and then on the back side, you have a little bit of the red corn kind of on the back, and a little bit of spiciness. This was spicier when we first mixed it. When we set it in a Marion barrel for a couple of months, the intense pepper taste on the back diminished, and I think the orange flint kind of overwhelmed it. But anyway, it kind of slides off the back, but it stops, and it just hangs there. And the hang there is because of the orange flint.
Yep.
Because orange flint has a starch structure that is not broken down by alpha amylase. It has another junction that only occurs in certain rices in China. And what that does, it has a globular of starch or glucose molecules that's not broken down. And so it just sits there on the back, and it has this oily taste that just coats everything. and kind of puts a blanket like a frosting on top of some sweet taste or something, and it just holds it on top of there. Just holds it on there. That's what I like about a whiskey, because I don't want to have to suffer getting drunk just because it tastes good.
Oh, sure.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
You know, I like a whiskey. I enjoy it. And red corn, for instance, I will drink very little red corn whiskey of a night. I will drink a lot of blue corn because you're ready for another one. It's there and it's not there. And the red corn is such a long finish on it.
Sure.
You don't really think about having another sip. And that's the way this one is. It just hangs with you. And you can identify all the parts of that for a long period of time.
Well,
That to me is a great whiskey.
I have to say, as much as we've loved the Rubenesque, I think this is better.
This totally trumps the Rubenesque.
Oh, for sure. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting here going, I could sit here with the 2-finger pour in my Glen and just lean my head back, and they've been watching me close my eyes and be like,
I thought he fell asleep.
I will sit there and enjoy this for a very long time. I'm not going to need to swallow all of this and refill it. This one glass is going to carry me for several hours if I let it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Gary and
Yeah,
Irene, you
yeah.
guys put something, fantastic together. This is really amazing.
Thank you.
I feel like a bit honored to be able to participate because I know there's not a lot of these out here. And I can tell you firsthand that we have to order and find this stuff elsewhere because none of it's in Florida.
No.
And if you had the opportunity to get placed in Florida, we would champion it being close to Deltona, somewhere close in Central Florida, Daytona, Orlando, like get around
Buy it
the
online.
area.
It's
Yeah.
never going to be in a shelf.
I know.
It's
I
only gonna
know.
It's only being
Just
either going
buy
to
it
be on
online.
Irene's shelf or my shelf or on the net. You got to go to our website, and
Yeah.
then it'll go and ship out someplace else,
So that
and it'll be there in 2 days.
Yeah, that's a really good segue. So how about this? Tell the people where they can find this beautiful bottle, this kind of commemorating the anniversary of or the birthday of our country, this wonderful red, white, and blue corn blend with a little bit of extra. You know, where can the people find it?
It's either in the Irene store.
No, it's not in my store.
Nope.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, no, we made it so normally I would partner with a distillery and I'll bring some to my state, and this is so special that I wanted it to just be also distillery only and online. So if you go to Woodhead Spirits and look for the 250th anniversary blend, it's $20 for shipping, I believe. But to me, totally worth it. So now the rest of the country can have it because if it only comes to my store, I'm going to sell it all. And then it was like, oh, damn you, you know?
Right.
So I really wanted to make it so that other people could get their hands on it. And, yeah, I mean, I did bring a few bottles home for myself, but that's my stash.
I don't blame you for that.
I'm sure that. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. So
Right.
Yeah.
anyway,
No, I mean, my other blend, my cigar blend, cigar malt with another distillery, that is available in my store, but they're sold out. So none of my good shit's available right now, unless you come to the
Irene,
store
do
for
you
other
ship?
things, but no, I
No
wish
shipping?
I could. You know, no. So it's too much headache. You know,
Okay.
the whole thing for me is I just want to have fun blending whiskey and making good shit for people.
Sure.
And then after that, I don't want to deal with the logistics of it. You
I
guys go figure
understand.
out how to get it.
Yep. It's like the artist that
It's
puts the
really-
great thing on the canvas but doesn't want to bother selling the painting. I understand.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
yeah,
Exactly. It's really funny. When I was blending for the distillery in Germany, they go, "Don't you want to put on the computer?" I'm like, "No." I said, "Look, I spent 40 years on the computer. I just want to draw what I'm tasting, okay?
Right.
And then when
right.
I'm all done, then I know the form. I'll put the formula in for you, but I don't want to look at the computer while I'm blending because to me, I feel like it's art.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
For
some
sure.
science involved, obviously, but like, I just want to be able to scribble. You know, I've been typing for 40 years. I'm tired of typing. I want to just draw.
Right. Right.
So, so that's how I, you know.
And you are a
my
wonderful
blends out there.
artist. This bottle proves
you.
that you are a heck of an artist.
Good job, guys. This is an
Yeah,
awesome product.
Yeah, and Gary, props for raising and distilling everything that is included in this because, like you said, we've had a chance to try one of your three of your offerings, technically, different barrels of the Rubenesques, but the blend of this, we can taste a little bit of that blue corn because we've tasted the Rubenesque earlier today to remind ourselves of your products, but all those other notes are just crazy. This is a good celebration of our country.
Amen.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually, so if you look at the back of the bottle, a little story of how we kind of got together to do that. So I kind of wrote that. I was sitting at Gary's house when I was there in March. And I'm like, look, if you hear somebody roaming around house at 4 a.m., that would mostly be me. Don't worry about it. So it was only until after I made the blend when I said, okay, now I can write the story on it. Because I can't name a whiskey till I'm done blending it. And it just inspires me after when I taste it on a clean palate. I go, okay, this is how we kind of got together, and we decided because this was a big anniversary for our country. We wanted, if you don't spend your money on fireworks, go watch somebody else's, but bring your bottle of fireworks.
Absolutely.
That on the palate, it's
Well said.
fireworks for me.
That's well said,
So
Irene.
what do you guys think? You've heard of us talk about it, and so from this end of it, what do you guys, you tasted it first time, let's hear what you guys say.
I think it's terrible, and you need to just send it all to here to Florida. We'll take it off your hands.
Yeah.
I think Irene's comment of fireworks in a bottle really kind of sums up the variety of flavors that happen because it lingers, and every minute that it lingers, something else transitions between the front to the back.
Yeah.
It's like watching a real good, proper fireworks finale where every color and shot is different.
I know. Every second I'm like, ooh, oh,
Yeah, I got that note.
oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. I just have to say, like I said, I think this is better than the Rubenesque, and I absolutely love the Rubenesque. This may be like a number 1, number 2 of the bottles that I've had for sure.
Yeah, I would say that Rubenesque was one of the highest rated bottles on this podcast, and this blows those bottles out of the water handedly.
Sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they actually thought that too.
With that, yeah.
it's the same
Yeah,
distillery,
they
so it's
thought
not
that
an
distillery.
insult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
But so if you all like all of this, just I'm trying to egg Gary onto this. That next year, look out, there's gonna be rainbow bourbon.
Outstanding.
Oh, no,
So,
yeah.
you know,
Can I pre-sale right now?
We should pre-sell rainbow bourbon.
We'll
I don't know.
Venmo you some shit.
There you go.
Sure.
But the Rubenesque,
Work.
you know what kind of instrument the Rubenesque is? To me,
What's that?
a clarinet solo.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
I can see that, yeah.
Yep. Well,
You see what I'm saying? It's so smooth and big, but it's pretty much the same note
yeah. I
within the real.
Gary.
I mean,
So, Gary, would this be the whole orchestra and symphony then?
no,
The red, white, and blue?
no. Well,
No?
I couldn't tell you. This is probably the whole orchestra, right?
Yeah.
And we have another one. The Cathedral, I tell people it's a trumpet solo. Now we have one called a Missouri Shoe Bag. It is a brass ensemble, and everybody, oh my God, it is. And so this could be the whole. It's an orchestra, but it's mostly string with a little bit of woodwind and a little brass on the side. This could be the old orchestra. You're right. That would be a good way of saying it.
The finish on this
I like that.
is just, if we're going to talk about music, the finish
Yeah.
is the crescendo. It is just,
There you go.
this
I
is
like that.
awesome.
yeah.
This is truly awesome. Great job, guys. We cannot
you.
thank you enough for just an amazing product, both of you. Wow.
Yeah, no, we
We
appreciate
have not talked
this.
about this. We have not talked about this with other podcasters or other people who have described it with us. I did do some at the ABB of the Air Shop last weekend,
Mhm.
and they were all blown away. This is the last one, and it was just like, okay, why are we drinking these other whiskeys?
Well, I can just, this is a great commemorative. If when people are listening to this and they're thinking what they need to bring for the weekend fireworks, They need to go get this quickly,
it?
get it shipped. And even if you get it after the fireworks, just get it. 777 or so bottles that are out there. I think if we do
Less
our
than
jobs
that.
right, yeah, I was going to say, I think if we do our job right, that should dry up pretty fast. So we might have to get, I don't know, 3 or 4. Is that a good number for us
Yeah.
over here?
Sure.
I already told
Yeah,
Mrs.
you
Big
might
Red
need some.
to expect me to buy one of these at least, because I just sent her the picture of the label and said, this is one of the greatest things I've ever tasted. And she's heard me say that a lot, but she understands that every time I say that, it is truly like, okay, so he said that 5 times now. This makes that better than the last 5 bottles he's tasted.
Sure.
Every time I say that, she knows, oh, it's gotten even better.
Oh, and I have to say, like, we are incredibly gracious and thankful the fact that we get to spend time with you guys. Your experience combined just is a tremendous opportunity for anybody that gets the chance to sit down with you, to listen to what you have to say. Irene, I think it's fantastic that you're like, I'm just doing my thing. I still can't believe that people are looking at me the way that they do. You know you're doing something well when you don't think you're doing it as well as other people do, right? So that's
I guess. Literally, I mean, that is the truth.
And-
is that I'm just having fun doing shit, and then they're like, oh, okay. And, but I am, for this project, I am so grateful to have met Gary, because I was on a hunt to make a red, white, and blue for the whole country. And I was like, what, are you crazy? I was like, no, let's not do that. And so then I go, well, why not make it with the person that is going to bring me the best red, white, and blue? And I'm so grateful that he's agreed to let me partner with him to do this.
And you said that you're having fun, and it shows that you're having fun. Like, the blend shows that you have fun doing what you do, and you're not trying to be commercial. You're trying to make something that you like, and it works.
Craft distilling.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, we're in a culture, the whole bourbon whiskey industry is based on tradition. And that kind of gets translated into monoculture, monotone a lot of times. And that keeps us from breaking out and discovering new things. It works against it.
for sure.
So when you get a chance to get out and do something different, it really wasn't that hard, because nobody wants to do different somethings, And if you got 525,000 barrels of whiskey in the warehouse that's made all alike, to come along and say there's better whiskey is a threat. And that in itself keeps you from doing things differently. And the craft spirit movement has allowed us to go out and explore and try new things, because we don't have vested interest in what's traditional a lot of times.
For sure.
We're cut free. We're free from that stigma, that history, that monotone.
The dogma of it, yeah.
And, the dogma of it. And it's kind of it's the irony of that whole thing and how it works together is, it's interesting.
The funny thing is this product, matter of fact, all of the products that you produce is not for everybody. You're going to have a lot of people they're going to turn their nose up to this because they're used to that stigma. They're used to that.
Oh, exactly. Yep.
And
that's okay. That's okay.
Agreed.
That's not
There's more for us.
Yeah.
So, I try to turn people on to really cool things that come across, and this will definitely be one of those products that I'm going to be like, you know what? Forget what you know.
Yep.
Forget what you know. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Forget what you know. Try this.
Yep.
And
well, and I'm such a fan of something that's different.
Mm-hmm.
And what is sad to me is, as excellent as this is so different. Because, Gary, to your point, craft distilling helps prop the industry by people being willing to go through and do something different, something that hasn't been tried before, that might fail, that is suiting their palate, and it happens to suit other people's palate too. I absolutely love finding something new and different and just not like everything else you can see on the shelf. And like I said earlier, I just wish I could find this on the shelf around me.
Seriously.
Because there's this and then other blends that I've had, not blends, but other brands that I've had that are different and unique, like others we've talked about that do the purple corn and other kinds of grains that they bring into their whiskeys. You just don't see it everywhere, and you really should. There should be more of a market for this, and I really wish that there was. And I hope that you get to continue to do this. So before we finish this part of the conversation, because we certainly aren't finishing what's in our glass, for I guess both of you, if you were to think about the legacy, and Gary, maybe I'll start with you, where would you want to see Wood Hat Spirits be in 10, 15, 20 years from now?
I'm 82 years old. I don't aspire to do any goddamn thing in 20 years.
Fair enough.
You
Fair
better
enough.
still be able to be making whiskey.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing whiskey. I'm going to be drinking stuff. And I hope there's somebody still making stuff that's good when I'm
Good.
there. Yeah. But
So do
I
you
think
plan on passing
we're gonna
along
be-
your tradition?
we're in a major quandary in that regard
Okay.
today.
Understandable.
I would love for somebody to come down here and hand me a big check and say, yeah, you can come to work any day you want. I would love to transition to somebody who would want to come in and take it over.
So
I'm gonna
talking
be
shit
making
today,
corn.
GoFundMe needs to get started so we can get an investment plan going.
Yeah, we do. There is we need to be looking at that, and I haven't done enough time to do that. I've been so focused on new and different and innovative, and just realizing all the openness and the opportunities out there. And there's so many of them because we've been stagnant for so long.
Sure.
People say, "Oh, Gary, you know goddamn more than anybody else about corn." I don't. It's just that nobody else knows shit.
Exactly.
I love that.
That's true. There's just so much more to discover because we haven't been out looking. We've been stagnant and monotone for so long that there's so many opportunities. I mean, this orange flint corn we use now, we bred now, the homegrown genetics is used. That corn is all over Africa, Asia, all in India. If you ever had polenta in Italy, that's what it's made from. And we're the only country in the world that doesn't use an orange flint corn for food production.
Okay.
Which is silly. Yeah.
Yeah, we get that
It's tough.
bright yellow corn everywhere.
Uh-huh. That's all they know, They're like, oh, number one, yellow corn. I'm like, oh, come on, give me a
Sure.
break. There's other things out there,
And that's the reason some of these old dusty whiskeys that, oh man, this is 40 years old. Well, they taste much better. Well, it wasn't Roundup Ready and BT corn.
Sure.
And we're assuming this yellow dent has always been the same yellow dent. That's wrong. That's a fallacy that's been brought forth. No, the corn today is much different than it was 30 years ago.
Yeah. And I like your take on how it's the mash that's going to make a difference. Whereas a lot of folks are focusing on how to finish it. But
well, the thing that I go back to, and I tell people here in the tasting room all the time, how many wines will we have in this country if we only had one grape?
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And that kind of resounds with most people. Oh, you're right. Well, we've only got one corn.
Yeah, I think a lot of
How
people
many
just don't
whiskeys are we
know.
going to have?
Yeah, I think we're enthusiasts, right? So I will strike up a conversation with anybody that happens to be looking at a bottle of whiskey. Happily. Like every time I travel, if I'm at an airport and I stop at a bar and I'm looking to see what they have on their shelves, and somebody is like, oh, I think matter of fact, last trip I took was up in Michigan, and I went up and I was looking for a good pour, and there just happened to be a Macallan 12 up there. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, I'll have a pour of that. And somebody's like, I'll bet you're getting the Macallan, and that started a conversation for us to have for the next 20 minutes. So I'm super happy to talk to folks about that. And I'm going to keep saying, hey, have you heard of?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about? These are the things you need to know about. And even the people who know, and Irene, you had even mentioned, when you got started, you knew Johnny Walker, or you knew Macallan, you knew the common brands that are out there that people hear about.
Yep.
and not like we don't shit on Blantons enough on this podcast. Blanton's is fine
right,
in its own right, but it's a lot of things to say about that. But that's also what people learn when they don't know what there is.
Exactly. And the whole thing, same thing was what Gary said about the single one grape, right?
Right,
so
right.
the people who are total snobs out there about, I only drink single malt, I don't drink blends. I'm like, oh my God, I hate to
You're
tell
missing
you.
out.
I don't want to have to tell you how stupid you are, because guess what? Your single malt is a blend. Unless it came from a single cask, it's a blend.
Right.
So the whole thing of it, and when I realized that, because before I developed my palate for this, I'm like, how do you tell it's a blend, right? Like a Scotch blend or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started blending, I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking simple, because it would be rare, maybe 0.005 or 1% of a single barrel can have all the flavors of this whiskey, unless somebody made the mash with all this corn in it, but then it wouldn't be in the right proportions.
Right,
you know
right.
I mean? So when it was like a eureka moment for me to go, oh my God, I know that's a blend. Why? How do you know that? And I know that with wines too. It's because there is no way in hell that a single grape or a single barrel of whiskey can have all of these notes in it. It's simple. It's just like, it's complex. It's a blend.
I think this is a good time to say that a lot of people in the industry, and I'm sure you've seen this, they crap on blends. And there are some bad blends out there. There are some okay blends out there. You got something like, we mentioned Johnny Walker. People don't realize Johnny Walker, all of them are blends, unless they say specifically otherwise. I got nothing against.
And in the 70s, they were amazing.
Yes.
If you could get a black Johnny Walker black in the 70s, oh my God, you're like, what is this?
Yep.
Did they forget how to make whiskey?
And people look at the single barrel, single malt, one grain in the barrel to the cask, everything as superior. No, people need to realize there are amazing blends out there. And just because the bottle says blend, don't ignore it. Please, for the love of all things, take the chance on the blend. You will not be disappointed in so many instances. And I feel like we need to make sure people understand that they're fine. Single barrel, single malts are great. I love many of them. I have several. I'm the one Scotch guy really in this room right now, but I love me a good blend.
You gotta come see me.
Oh
my God, you
believe
gotta
me.
come see me.
I wish I could get up there.
Hop on a plane. That's it.
Yeah, and I would just say too, finishes, like finished whiskeys, bourbons, ryes. Like there's a lot you can do in the finishing process, which is amazing. But Irene, I want to toss the question to you that I tossed to Gary. What do you see your legacy being in 10, 15, 20 years from now?
I hope that I can. And it's funny because we're talking, nice segue, because with blends, because eventually I want to go back to blending wines, red wines. And people are like, oh my God, it's such a thing. I want to have a brand that just says blend. And
nice.
Then they're so in your face that you go, what the hell is that? Why am I drinking that? But it's going to be the best damn blend that's out there. I really would like to just educate people, because in my other life, before I was an IT person, I was a teacher. So coming full circle, I would like to be able to educate people again to not, yes, pretty bottles sell, a lot of advertising sells, right? But when you blind taste, man, then you go, oh my God, I've been blinded. It's in peer pressure, advertising, all of those things. So I would love to be able to have people really appreciate what is put in front of them, whether it's the spirit or wine, and taste it for its pureness, right? And appreciate the people that made this happen, the people that grew the grapes, the people that grew the grains, distilled, aged, waited, and then blended to present this beautiful thing to you, and not shit on it.
Right. Well, I love that. Well, so we're going to take an opportunity to transition to our next couple topics here, because, we like to get into a few different things, and I think we could continue going on for hours and hours, but to respect your time and to continue on, we'll move along. So I just want to start the transition by saying thank you both so very much. I'm personally so excited
pleasure.
because of, the experience that we've had so far, the bits that I've learned before we got the chance to get together and talk. You both are fantastic guests, and I really do hope to have you on again,
Absolutely.
and hope
Yes.
to get the opportunity to come meet you in person, wherever it is that you happen to be. So we'll definitely have to keep in touch. So before we
Okay.
get into our next segment, and I'm sorry, Irene, go ahead.
No, that's good. We love to, have you all come visit Wood Hat, come see me in Canterbury, and keep up with whatever other projects Gary I might have on in the next few years, hopefully.
A rainbow bourbon. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, Rainbow
excited by
Bourbon.
that.
So I got a question for both of
Yeah.
you guys, Gary and Irene.
Yep.
What's in your glass tonight?
We're white and blue. Yeah,
All
same
right.
as you guys got.
How about you, Irene?
Oh, red, white, and blue. I brought it. I was in Newport earlier today, so I brought some to let a few people try. They're like, "What is this? Like, what's this shit you can't get unless you buy it online?" And yeah, no, I actually did not have a chance to really sit down and drink this bottle because I was kind of saving it for tonight. But it's more than half gone because I have been sharing with a lot of different people to get excited about this. And everybody that tastes it, people go, "I don't like high proof stuff. I don't like bourbon." And then they taste it. I go, "I'm not tell you anything about it. Just try it." And they smell it and they get all excited about it. And then after they
Sure,
taste
did they say what proof it was? We didn't bring that up, did we?
Oh no, we haven't.
124.4. Yeah,
Yep.
it's up there.
Yeah.
124.84. 124.4.
And that's honestly my sweet spot. That's where I really enjoy things.
You lie. You're a hazmat whore.
Well, okay, so what? But if I'm getting a good warm up before I get into the 150s, it's going to be in the 120s.
This is my true sweet spot. I can drink lower, I can drink higher happily, but the 120-ish, 130-ish
Yeah.
is perfect sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
I concur, Doctor.
See, no, I have proofs from from 86 to 160, and I honestly, when I go to the distillery, I go when they go, "We don't know, tell," I'm like, "Oh, don't tell me anything. Just put it low proof to high proof, but don't tell me where the proof start or end, right?" And invariably, one of the stories I was at was Kings County actually. They have 5 barrels, and I love the super low proof and the high proof, so I picked number 1 and number 5. And ended up with number 5, of course, because it helped way more flavor and more. So I never. People always think I buy. In fact, a lot of my competitors in my state think I only buy high proof. She's like the high proof queen. And I'll say no. I never want to know what the proof is. I want to taste it, and I pick it based on how good it smells, how great it tastes on my palate, how it finishes, and then the proof is what the proof is.
Right.
Whiskey can be drank at most any proof.
Pretty much.
That's,
Good whiskey
I
can be.
believe that. It's just,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've had high proof whiskeys in the 140s, 150s that do not drink like that. They drink like a 110, and I've had 100, 110s that drink like a 150. It's all about what's in the bottle and what's in the glass.
yeah.
No, this is good. No, thanks for having us on, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm so
It's
happy.
been a lot of thank you guys for being letting us be part. This has been great. You know, and I think it's going to turn into some bottle sales on the net. I do. I hope we've got enough out there because that's all there is.
Yeah.
I hope it does.
Yeah, because I don't think we'll be making this again, right, Gary? Oh, maybe. We'll see how it does. I mean, we could, and we'll sell these bottles first, but we could potentially do a much smaller red, white, and blue every year.
Well,
at Cask
We
Strength.
could.
we're going to be subscribing to that list ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and get us moving along. And so thank you very much for.
I'm going to bow out. I've got another program that I'm kind of late for,
Okay.
but this has been great. Thank you, guys.
Well, Gary, thank you very much for being here, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty.
All right. So, as we are likened to do, we have developed a pattern of focusing on mental health, and it's something that is near and dear to all of our hearts. So we want to go ahead and, as much good fun as we've had, now's a really good time to remind everybody, like, follow, comment, and share this podcast. If you found anything we talked about remotely interesting, and I know absolutely for certain you did, and if you didn't, we're going to have to get a hold of you. but I know that you did. So like it, follow, comment, share, tell us everything that you loved about it. But most importantly, tell your friends and family that they need to talk shit with us and Irene today. So, yeah, let's get into it. So Lumpy, before we do, I'd like to give you the honors of giving us a little bit of a call out, another call to action here.
Indeed. So just remember, folks, you know, we're going to start with help is available. If there's any issues with you, if you have any dark feelings, just remember there's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's 988 is the number. You can call, text, chat, go on the website. If you have any issues, again, the number's 988. They're 24 hours a day. They're willing to help talk. We need you here talking shit today.
The world is better with you in it, we promise.
Indeed.
And you're not allowed to give up. So I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of segue from some of the conversations that we've had and get into PTSD and trauma. Oftentimes, PTSD is, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's something that is associated with soldiers, veterans in general. And I just wanted to say, like, yes, of course. And as we get into the birthday of our country, it's very patriotic and symbolic for us, of course, tends to honor a lot of our, current service folks and veterans. And the fireworks are something for people to understand can actually induce trauma or trauma response for a lot of folks, but not just soldiers. Folks that have had some sort of issue that has led to their PTSD. And I wanted to take some opportunities to talk through this. So I guess the first point to get into is that PTSD, when you're going through it, may feel like a weakness, but it really is not. It's a very natural response to unnatural situations. That's what's really happened. So I kind of want to open up the dialogue about, like what kind of gets us there, how, if you've dealt with anything similar in your own life, kind of how that's come about, how you've made your way through those challenges. And Irene, you're of course welcome to join in that conversation.
I'll say this, a lot of people don't realize, people think PTSD and they think big. They think back in the World War I and II eras, it was shell shock. Later on in the 80s and 90s, it was Gulf War syndrome. PTSD became the official psychological term for it. And people think it's big, massive events that do this. No. And I'll speak from personal experience. I got in a car accident at night in the rain because you hit the brakes in the rain in Florida and your car doesn't always stop. My car skid forward into the guy in front of me. To this day, a minor form of PTSD. I don't like driving at night in the rain because I get scared that maybe I'm going to hit the brakes and my car's not going to stop like it's supposed to. Little things like that qualify as post-traumatic stress disorder. Any form of trauma that induces a stress response could qualify. And we want to make sure you all realize that that is okay to have those responses. That is perfectly normal.
So, Irene, do you have any situations in your life that have been so traumatic or have been so poignant that, you something that seemed mundane to most people, to you, you're shaking in your pants?
So no, actually, I've been pretty lucky. And I think part of it for me is just I coming from a very technical background, it's weird. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me that I like things happen. Don't get me wrong, lots of bad things happen in my life. But I look at the situation and I go, okay, not to lay blame on what made this happen. I analyze it and I go, okay, this is what happened, and then this is how we're going to not make it happen again, because we're going to recognize the pattern of that happening and prevent it. So very fortunate that I've not had anything happen to me where I had to take a lot of time to recover from it.
Okay, that's good for you. You are definitely lucky in that aspect.
I know I have friends who have had PTSD, and so I've seen sort of secondhand how it affects people and stuff like that. But me personally, I knock on wood, have been very lucky.
Well, But
in
I
that
think you raise
situation. So
a couple interesting points, and one that's very important. So I too am very analytical in my thinking. I apply that to my work every single day. I'm very data driven. Data helps me define the decisions that I'm going to make. And, you know, if you don't have enough data to start with, you'll get more data later. So you can make a choice now and then adjust it when you get more, right? So
Yep.
I'm with you on that sense that that analytical mindset can sometimes help process through things in a real logical way, place them where they need to be placed, and then figure out solutions on how to move forward. So
Yep.
I appreciate that. But you also mentioned that you've got friends that are going through it. And I think that's an important thing that we can all take away is even if we're not feeling our own trauma, being the person who recognizes the response that others are going through and how to help them or how to respond to them while they're going through that. They're not just having a bad day sometimes. You know, sometimes it's worse than that. And it's more important for you to approach the situation with understanding. Red's talked in the past about, you know, what's the acronym again, Red?
HALT.
HALT.
And what is it? Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And all of those things can affect your psychological state and your mental state. And sometimes you have to stop and think. But then sometimes some things like, you know, traumatic events bypass all of those. And some of those things, it's like, okay, I haven't eaten today. My blood sugar's off. That's causing me to think in negative ways. Sometimes you're like, I've taken care of myself. I'm surrounded by people. I've gotten good sleep. I'm in a good mood, and I'm still just not in a good place. And sometimes there are events in your past that lead to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think too, like sometimes people will carry the burden themselves and feel like I should have gotten over this already. And I don't know why. Something's wrong with me. And there may be something wrong, but not necessarily with you. And I think it's really important that people can acknowledge to each other and for each other. Like if you're that friend that's sort of trauma free and you're the person who's being that person's person, if that makes any kind of sense.
Because we all need that person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Then approaching them with understanding and saying, listen, your feels are your feels and they're appropriate. It's okay. There's nothing broken.
Yeah.
Everything's good. You're good. Go ahead.
Empathy. I mean, empathy is such a thing. It's a thing. You know, it's not sympathy. It's a different thing. And you know, because I feel like I've been pretty fortunate, not happy-go-lucky. I mean, there is a situation, lots of things that happen that you know, for some other people, might, you know, it may turn traumatic for them. But I think it kind of boils down to when you're growing up, that you feel loved, and once you've had that, then oh man, everything else is like secondary. It like empowers you. It's almost like you have this magical, you know, button you can push inside of you, that no matter how bad things get, because you know you were loved growing up. And I think that is something that lots of people don't have.
Sure.
Like for me, when I came to this country in 1982 to go to school, I grew up in Asia, in Singapore, and you know, my parents absolutely just loved us. We were dirt poor, but it didn't matter. We just felt loved, and that was enough, at least for me, to carry on the rest of my life. Going, no matter what happens in the world, man, somebody loved me.
That's amazing. I love that.
You know, yeah, and I wish for more people would have had that. You know. And I see a lot of that where people just aren't capable of giving that love to the children, and that's why, you know, like then things just escalate, and it was, oh my God, now we're looking at like the tail end of, now it's a lot harder to fix because it wasn't right to begin with.
Sure.
So every day I am grateful that my parents loved me as much as they did, to give me the strength to keep doing crazy things out there, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah. No, I actually really like that you guys have this segment on this.
We do it every episode. We carry another topic, and just to add to that, you know, there's an old saying that just kind of came back to mind, and it's life is 10% what it throws at you. 90% is how you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
How you react to it, absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you refuse to deal with it, then it will start to become a problem. It'll start to metastasize and fester. I've been through that in previous relationships, which we won't get into, but if you don't deal with an issue, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never goes away, right? It's like something that's gone wrong, it's rotting, and you could take care of it right away or soon enough. But when you don't, then it becomes impossible, and that's when I think that's where a lot of people find themselves in. It's like everything's wrong, nothing's right anymore, but you know what? It all starts with just doing one right thing, whatever that is, to get started. There's always, until you're dead, there's always a way to get back. I feel somehow. And to be, I feel like to be grateful, like not because I'm older, maybe I am like most days very, very grateful for little things that happen. It's like, wow, that's really, really nice when somebody does something nice, not because they have to, because they just did.
And Irene, one of the topics that we continually cover, and we're finding, obviously we're more a men-driven podcast, and we thank you for being here on this and giving your input. Men are more likely to not seek help for these things.
Yes.
And they learn to, well, not learn, excuse me, that's the wrong choice of words, but they seem to lean more towards self-medicating for these problems, such as drinking, drugs, etc. So that's one of those points that we want to bring out too, is that men feel, we've talked about this again in previous episodes, for weakness, and it's just something that probably should be addressed a little bit more with men.
And that
probably, I mean,
and that's a good one.
Because women always, have a little bit more, women are just kind of built to do that, right? Because it's a survival thing in every species, right? Not just in humans. Sorry, guys, you all are big and strong and everything, but constitutionally, women, are just built to be stronger. Because if without us, in every species, then things just die off. And I think that's why. And not that it's right or wrong, but genetically that's how we're built. But you're right, because it's for men, it's always it's always a sign of weakness, right? To ask for help.
Yeah, and there's that stigma of, it's been X number of years, I should be over this by now. Why am I still focusing on this? Like, I mean, my car accident at night, that was a long time ago. Why am I still afraid to drive? And I say this with big air quotes around me, realistically, I should be over this by now. Why does it still affect me? Because there is no time frame for grief or for recovery. There is no, I should be over this. If that is the way it is, that is sometimes just the way it is. And unfortunately, that thought of I should be past this actually, and the cultural belief that, okay, you should just move on and get over it, makes it worse in so many instances because you focus more on it.
Yeah, and just to kind of bring this segment to a good close, traumas, we often associate PTSD with what combat veterans have gone through, right? Being shell-shocked, shot at, having to shoot, having to do the ultimate soldier's duty, losing limbs, losing friends, just the dealing with fog of war, all those things. But civilians have gone through plenty of trauma as well. And whether your trauma is rooted in, whether it's sexual trauma, an accident, loss, abuse, emergencies, they all qualify. And so I wanted to give an opportunity to go ahead and just mention one more time some of these services that are out there that everyone needs to be aware of.
Indeed. So again, it's going to be the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Whether you're a citizen, whether you're a veteran, doesn't matter who you are. The number is 988. Call, text, chat, 24 hours a day. They're there to help. You need to call and have that conversation, you need to be here talking shit with us today.
And specifically for veterans, when you press 988 and press 1, you will get specifically veteran care.
Thank you, X.
And there's also the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration hotline, which is 1-800-662-4357. And they focus on the mental health and the substance abuse related resources and attaching resources to that. So you can find help where you need. And there
Awesome.
are so many other resources available.
Awesome.
Yep. So I think, gentlemen and Irene, it is time for some levity. We got into some pretty heavy topics there. We got into some fantastic bourbons. Irene, thank you so much for being part of that. And I'm so glad that we got to share this amazing 250 bottle. It's just fantastic. So, but we do have a tradition here. We absolutely go into Am I the Asshole every single episode, and we are not going to disappoint this one as well. So,
Irene, you're going to like this. You want to stick around just a few more minutes of your time,
Sure.
and we'd like to get your
Yeah.
input.
yes. So,
Sure.
So,
Lumpy, take us away.
all right. So here is our Am I the Asshole segment. Okay. All right. So, Am I the Asshole? This one may or may not be from the internet. Am I the asshole for refusing to open my dad's last bottle at his memorial gathering? My dad passed in March. He was a bourbon guy, not a collector, just a man who approached good whiskey and knew what he liked. Over about 15 years, he accumulated maybe 30 bottles.
Them's rookie numbers.
Yo, those are rookie numbers.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm talking about.
He grabbed what he liked.
Irene acquired 30 barrels in a year. Come on now.
Okay. Nothing crazy valuable, but meaningful. A Blanton's he never opened because he was saving it for the right occasion.
Good reason.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is true.
blame him.
A bottle of Old Fitzgerald he picked up on a trip to Louisville with my mom the year before she died. A few others with stories attached. When he passed, my brother and I were named co-executors. The bottles came up. My brother wanted to open them at the memorial gathering. Said it would be a way to honor him. Drink with family, tell stories. I said no. I said those bottles were his. He chose not to open them, and cracking them at the party felt like overriding a decision he made for 15 years. My brother said I was being sentimental to the point of disrespect. That bourbon is meant to be drank, Dad would have wanted people to enjoy it, and that I was turning bottles into a shrine instead of a celebration. I told him the Blanton's in particular wasn't ours to open. Dad had a reason for saving it, even if he never told us what it was. My brother said, he's gone. There's no right occasion anymore. And that hit me harder than I expected. We didn't open them. My brother was cold with me for 2 weeks after. Some family members sided with him. My wife said I was right, but maybe I could have bent on one bottle. Am I the asshole?
Wow.
Hmm.
So aside from taking every chance we can to shit on Blanton's,
Yeah, they were right not to open that one.
He understood the assignment.
so at Irene, as the guest, you get, first crack at this. What's your take on this story of Am I the Asshole? Do you think narrator's the asshole, or do you think the brother's the asshole?
So my take on whiskey is it should always be open.
Indeed.
Whatever occasion you saved it for, you waited. The dad waited too long. You should have opened it and shared it, so that people that you shared it with, could have memories of sharing it with you.
Just like we are today
Mm-hmm.
with
al-
this
There you
wonderful
go.
bottle. Absolutely.
we always say we're
Yeah,
the fragile part.
We're the fragile, yeah.
Yeah, there is no bottle so special that you should wait until, because we have no guarantee, man. You could get run over tomorrow. A tree could fall in your house overnight, right?
Yep.
So, but I did save this 1976 Occasion Series Highland Park for my manager. That was the year she was born. So
Aw.
June 1st was her birthday, and I promised her this for few years after I acquired. I sold like 8 of them, so I go, Okay, I'm keeping this 1976 one for you because for 1960 non-existent. And I said we're gonna open this bottle. I'm when you turn 50, and we did. We went to Newport, spent an overnight there. We bought 3 bottles. The 76 Highland Park, the really special bottle of 100 Acre wine, and a really fancy bottle of champagne, and we drank the wines, most of the wines. We drank all the wine, but we did finish the Highland Park, obviously. And to me, that was kind of worth saving for. But along the way, we'd always been opening special bottles. So I honestly, if there's any open bottle in my basement, it's only because I haven't gotten to it.
Nice.
And when I do a lot of charity events where I offer, we do one for the Roger Williams Zoo. In fact, we just did one in May this year. We've done 6 of them so far. Their goal was to raise $20,000. We raised $41,000.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Which is phenomenal for the zoo. And what's cool is every year, whatever animal that we've been starting picking like an animal or a cause for the year. So the serval cat was about 3 years ago. We raised $38,000 for her, more than 10% of what they needed for her habitat.
Wow.
And then we did last year we did the humble penguins. So I've been doing like blends at my store from all my leftover samples and donating those. And those 2 bottles, one's for silent auction, one's for tasting, and those have fetched over $1,000. But between
Nice.
what the auction went for and what people got the pours for, like a quarter-ounce pour, $10, and so really cool stuff. So at the end of the day, it's just like all of those bottles are so. I feel like if you can open a bottle of whiskey and it can do so much good, open it already, man. Don't wait.
Yeah.
We have no control over how long we get to live and breathe.
True.
Right.
True.
So when the moment is right, just do it.
Red,
Because there could be more special bottles, right?
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, even a year ago, this 250th anniversary would not have happened. We didn't know what's going to happen. It's a pretty special bottle. I'm really happy with it. I'm really glad you guys like it.
Oh, it's
But
awesome.
but
I
the
love
whole
it.
thing of it is, saving those special bottles is like, no, every day it's special. It's special because you make it special.
yeah.
The people who share it that make it special. That's it, man.
Red?
It's down to the people.
Yeah.
Don't be assholes.
So I kind of agree. I think narrator is kind of the asshole. And so those of you who have listened to the podcast know that the 3 of us, Lumpy, X, and I, have all gone through the loss of fathers. And my father passed right before Christmas holiday season. So the very last thing I opened on Christmas Day was the last thing he had ever bought for me. And it was a bottle from a list that I have of bottles that I'm hunting for just fun. And so I opened it that day because I knew he'd be pissed as hell if I didn't open it that day. And then I slapped a sticky note on it that says open only on, and I put his birthday. So every year going forward on his birthday, I'll open it. I'll have drinks with whoever happens to be around at the time.
I'll be there.
And that's a special occasion, but it has a specific marked date. Mrs. Big Red, is also a member of the whiskey community. And so I have bought her some bottles that were not necessarily cheap bottles. And I was sitting there asking, I was like, why haven't you opened this bottle yet? She's like, I'm saving it for my birthday party. As soon as you put a solid date, like it's opening on X day, X year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, at that moment, that bottle has a designated day and it has a purpose.
Yep.
But otherwise, I don't have a single bottle that hasn't been opened unless, like you said, I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
Unless the bottle has a day on it that says open at this occasion, they all get open somehow. It may take a while to drink because I have quite the collection in my house over the last couple of years. But I will open my bottles, and I don't think that, and honestly, and I'm going to be kind of blunt about it, Dad doesn't have any more special days coming in this situation, in this segment.
Yep.
He's run out of special days. I'm pretty sure the funeral counts as a pretty special day. Let's crack some of them bottles and share his legacy,
Right?
man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
That's kind of where I'm at. As I'm listening to the story, I had the idea maybe the dad's the asshole, right?
For not opening them.
And, I think, I don't know if he's really the asshole considering maybe he just needed some urging, little nudge here and there,
Maybe
like, hey,
nobody asked him, like,
Yeah.
what are they for?
yeah, let's get into
Yeah.
these. Let's make the occasion. Let's, the bourbon's going to outlast us. So let's make
Oh,
sure that we
absolutely.
can, enjoy the experience. But 100% to me, narrator, you don't erect shrines to people. You celebrate people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Absolutely.
if I have anything left on the shelf, I expect everyone to empty as much as they can at my wake as possible, because
Amen.
I don't want you to remember it.
I'm Irish. I don't expect you to walk out of my wake.
I'm donating my bottles to a few good causes.
That's awesome.
Amen. And
That's
that's
awesome.
a perfect good reason.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
again, my take, I'd have to go with X. I think Dad's the asshole. He should have been the one pop those bottles, man.
Yeah.
He didn't understand. He didn't understand the program.
Mhm. Or at least told the kids,
Mhm.
this is the reason I'm saving them.
Yeah.
So they had a reason to maybe they were saving it for his grandkid's 21st birthday, but never told the narrator about that.
True.
Sure.
You let the
Mhm.
story know.
Well, and maybe that's a future
Yeah.
segment of us to get into, is like, because we've all had to dig through our parents' stuff. Like, I'm digging through my dad's stuff still,
Mm-hmm.
and he died last year. So, what was the purpose of this thing? What did this note mean? So, help your kids out when you're not there to explain things, help your kids out somewhat.
Leave some instructions.
So,
Yeah.
but so I think our consensus is that narrator and possibly Dad's the asshole here. So, but I think we all agree, no matter what, we are fragile. We're the ones that are not going to be here longer than the bourbon. So create the experiences and have fun.
Amen.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I want to
You
take,
guys are cool.
well, thank you.
I like.
You are very
You guys
cool
are very
too.
cool.
And we appreciate that. We'll take that as high praise. Normally we take basic bitch and we say thank you for that too.
Yes, we do.
So, Irene, I want to give you the opportunity here in case you have any toasting that you would traditionally do, or anything that you'd like to bring. We're at the end here. We want to go ahead and close out with the toast. So I want to give you that opportunity if you have one.
Open that bottle and share it already. That's it, man.
Cheers.
I like it. Clean
I
and
love that.
simple.
I like it.
I tell my customers that all the time. I'm like, open that bottle already. Don't freaking save it for later, because later is never guaranteed.
Absolutely. Well, Irene Tan, thank you very much. I hope people go check you out. What is your next project?
So I'm actually my cigar malt sold out after it won the World Whiskey Award for it won gold in its category, and 12 years and under for small batch.
I'm very
So the
disappointed
last
because you said cigar and I
Oh.
got excited. Then
Oh,
you
yeah.
said sold out and I started to cry.
wait. So there are 12 bottles left in my store. If you come visit me, I'll save you a bottle.
Oh,
All
wow.
right, I might
saying.
have to call out of work.
Yeah, you might have to. I'll save you the bottle. So the whole thing of it is we people, because I know we're far away. That's how we look. Just call the store, pay for it, and then we'll put your name on it, and then we'll save it until you show up. And so when it was, I made just a little under 1,000 bottles last year at Andalusia, and it was one of those projects. Same thing as with Gary. It was just like I was there. You give me more than 3 things in my hand, I cannot stop myself from blending. And so I said to Ty Phelps, who was the store owner, I go, hey, try this. He goes, really good. I go, can we make it a project? He goes, sure. And that was it, So then we, that was like 2 Octobers ago. And so he goes, all right, well, hold on to the whiskey for maybe 2 years.
So,
for you.
Irene,
I'm like,
how about I pay for it? Give you my UPS number, and you ship it to us.
I can't ship it.
I know.
Oh,
I'm only kidding.
it's
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, but I'll save you the bottle.
What
Just,
I'm
you know,
gonna
let's
what I'm
smoke
gonna
all
buy
second.
from you that you can ship is a whole bag of Skittles that you have to reinforce with some bottles. That's all.
Yeah, actually, so I'm going to be in Miami in August. So if you make your way down to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, maybe we can make something happen, or just come see me.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, you guys should just like take a week, just hop on a plane. It's a direct flight to Providence, which is the best airport to get to me. I'm like 45 minutes away, and
Right.
then let me just drive, because you cannot bring enough bottles back.
I was going to say,
I can check a bag.
Do that. Yeah, but anyway, so cigar malt. So that's my next project. So I have two projects in the wings, just waiting. I'm trying to figure out how to get my German single malt here and my Clonakilty blend here.
Did you say German single
sometime.
malt?
Yes. Oh my God, this thing is fucking amazing. It's
That's
like
a
so.
category
It's the
I've
gentlest.
never heard of.
You just dropped the F-bomb, and I
Oh,
appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm
I love
sorry.
it.
No,
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 don't
it
apologize.
We
That-
do it all
that
the
was-
time.
That was
Yeah.
fucking awesome. We
Yeah.
were waiting for that.
So anyway, so my cigar malt. So when it won the World Whiskey Award in February, they announced that the last 200 bottles just evaporated. So I'm going back after 4th of July, July 5th, 6th. I'm going to Utah, Park City, visit a distillery, maybe have a partnership of some sort. Then I'm going to Texas to formulate my next cigar malt, which I've decided that I'm going to keep most of those blends about the 1,000 bottles.
Okay.
So yeah, so definitely look for the next one. But if you like the first one, I'll never make that one again, just because there's so many other options. Because
Sure.
the wood smoke, the single wood smoke, is the first one was peach wood smoke. And
Oh,
then
okay.
the me, I go, oh my God, I've yeah, peachwood smoke, 80% single American single malt peachwood smoke, and then 20%. So it's 5 barrel blend. So the last barrel was 3-year-old single malt, finished heavily peated, 50% Irish, 50% Scottish malt, Scottish peat, and then finished in the PX sherry cask.
Oh,
And
you
when
said a
people
lot of
tasted it,
things I'm excited about.
so you're just gonna have to get more than one bottle, maybe. Like I said, I've got 12 bottles right now
Okay.
for sale. And so Glenn Modan, the guy who's the master ambassador brand for Glenmorangie, tasted it and he goes, "Oh, hot reaching, blah blah." I said, "How old do you think it is?" He goes, 10 to 15. I go, "Damn, the price is quadruple."
Wow.
Sells for $1.30. And then I said the youngest whiskey, I had to wait till February 26th for them to execute the blend so it would turn 2 years old. So the whole entire cigar malt is only 2 to 3 years old,
Wow.
which was wild to me. Yeah. So really fun stuff. So the next one is going to be older. A majority, hopefully, I don't know. I'm going to make the blend. I bought 4 barrels, empty barrels from France. Exo Cognac, a Momziac, a Rivasol, and a Bagnols barrel. So 2 of which are very savory. So they have 5-year-old heavily peated malt in there, sitting since December. And then we have a super smoke that's only 2 years old. So ultimately my blend's going to be 2 years old because why? Because I can. And then a really special barrel, which I can't speak about right now, but it will tie back to my first interaction with Andalusia. So that will hopefully get formulated in second week in July. And then I think I'm going to probably release it in October because I'm making the 10th anniversary blend for them as a freebie because they're just wonderful people. I don't give a lot of freebies. This is my third and last freebie. And then we'll launch my stuff after so that we can sell their 10th anniversary blend.
Irene, so we want to thank you for being here on the show. We'd like you to we'd like to keep in touch with you. How can we do that? Does X have your contact information, email address, etc.?
He does. Yeah. So
Awesome.
actually, so there is another. If you all are fans of Kings County stuff, so my Kings Code, the first one sold out. Second one and the third one might disappear very quickly. If that's something maybe you wanted to segment about at some point in time, I maybe can't put me on your show too often, but don't wait too long because I'm Blend 3 might disappear in a hurry, but Blend 2 might still be there, and I certainly work with them to send you all a couple bottles of my King's Coat stuff.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't be upset about that.
Right.
American single malt blended with Clonakilty Irish whiskey. I don't think nobody's ever done that before. The second one has a little bit of Scotch in it from one of my single barrel picks. Has also a 15-year-old Clonakilty whiskey in it, which is phenomenal. So that one is going to hang out there. Right now, there are 400 bottles left to sell. I probably sold more than half of it in my store already.
Oh, right on.
But it's available in New York, at the distillery, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut.
Oh.
So maybe like a few months from now, if you want to reach back out and go, hey, if you still have bottles left to sell,
X and
we'll
I will
send you
be
some
happy
bottles
to
and
taste it.
talk about it.
Yes.
Lumpy heard you say the word scotch, and if you've listened to us before, go back through some of the episodes, you'll understand his response to the word scotch. But
no, I'm not a Scotch guy.
now, X and I will happily taste those.
Absolutely.
I haven't found a Scotch
Oh,
yet
but-
that suits my palate.
Really?
Nope.
And
So I'm
he's
sorry.
Wow. So
and
clearly,
he's not a huge fan
you
of
need-
Irish whiskey either. It has,
Nope.
I think, it has to do with the malted. I think it has to do with the malted barley, honestly, because we tried last episode in 21. We tried a 21-year Redbreast that Lumpy was not
That's okay.
fond of, but X and I were extremely
Okay.
happy with.
Had a great nose.
Okay.
I mean, it smelled
Yeah.
fantastic. But
So what did you not like about the palate?
so for me,
I think she's calling you out, dude.
no, that's fine. Somebody needs
No,
to.
no, I want to know what you don't like
I mean,
about it.
we
you
have
know?
too, so
So let's start with the Scotch. Scotch for me is a PTSD thing that we talked about.
yeah. To be fair, I understand your Scotch
Okay.
response.
So
Okay.
I can't get past the smell of Scotch. The peat.
What part of Scotch though?
Well, okay, so
The peat?
the peat. The peat. It's like
Okay.
I just ran out to the front lawn and just did a face dive into the lawn and started chomping away at the grass.
And many of them, that's a legitimate statement, and I will give you that.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say, so have you had a non-peated Scotch?
I'm going to say no in general because
You probably just avoided Scotch just
I've
because.
avoided them so much
But-
just out of
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
Irish whiskey, the Redbreast, is non-peated, and you weren't
Right.
fond about that. And I think
but
the
you love
malted
the
barley.
nose.
You love the way it smelled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the nose was fantastic.
But I
on
think
that.
the malted barley being the primary part of the mash bill reminded you too much of
Okay.
the scotches you've
It
tasted.
did. It was too close. They were too
okay.
close to me,
Yeah.
or
You-
too close
So
together.
question,
You had some issues with
do
scotch.
you like
so-
cigars? Yeah. Do you like cigars? Do you smoke?
Sort of. I do. I have
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
cigar here and there.
I do. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Good. All right. Do you like bacon?
Do I
Bacon, of
like
course.
bacon? No. I
What?
adore bacon.
Ah, okay.
He adores
He
Okay,
it.
loves
good.
bacon.
Oh,
Everything
we are
is better
going to
with bacon.
Okay, as is Scotch. So we're gonna fix your ass. So my manager, Jen, that works for me, before she started working with me, never hated Scotch. Oh my God, the medicinal band-aids, blah 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 blah. Right? So I go, look, Jen, we sell whiskey and we sell a lot of Scotch, and I love Scotch. So I'm gonna fix your ass. So I broke a peat meter. I broke
My
a smoke
my ass
meter.
is broken. You haven't seen the size of the crack in it.
But but she loves bacon. So every year at Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve, where our store is just like balls to the wall busy, right? So I said, okay. So I said 9:00. It's when we open, and I said, so don't have breakfast. I'm gonna bring you some nice thick cut bacon, no sulfites, nothing. Potentially glazed with maple or whatever it is.
Okay, you're talking dirty to me. So keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So I go. So now just nice. I'm 15 minutes from my store. So I bring this thing and it's still it's crispy and it's just good chewy and crispy. So I said, go have some of this. Oh, it smells really good. I go good. So I have to have a piece, chew it down. Good, right? She goes, yeah. I go, now go pour yourself some Port Charlotte 10. She's like, tedious whiskey. I go, like, humor me, man. If you don't like it, toss it. I don't care. I will not be offended. But just try it. You gotta just try it once. So she looks at me like, with the evil eye, and she tries it. And then she goes, oh. She goes, wait a minute. This is just nice smoke, like a barbecue smoke. Oh, yeah, no shit,
So
huh?
you're saying I need to
So
eat
4
really
pours-
good bacon and then drink scotch?
Yeah.
I think that's a good
But
exercise.
you gotta chew it down first. You gotta chew it down good and with all the fats and everything. Then wash it down with like a Port Charlotte. And she went for formal pour. She's like, hey Jen, we got a long day ahead of us. So I know my job. Since I did it at Thanksgiving, I did it at Christmas, and the rest is history. Now she goes, there's no peat. And I go, really, there is. She just does not recognize it anymore. She goes, that's just really good shit. So it took me only 2 tries. So you may want to do that.
Huh. I got a buddy who makes his own bacon fat wash whiskeys, and I may have him fat wash a scotch or two and see how that turns out.
Speed Racer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might work. Yeah. But there's something about like chewing that bacon, right, with the coating your palate with some of that fat and all those flavors, and then washing it down with, because I think it does something with the peat. It basically kind of, I feel like in her case, it converts it into just nice barbecue smoke. The peat just literally just evaporates.
I shouldn't have to eat bacon to drink
So
scotch.
X, you make
But
the
you know
bacon.
what?
I'll
But I
bring
like
the
it.
scotch.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
make bacon. I'll make the scotch, and we'll get Lumpy to say it's not terrible. If
Okay.
we can get him to
There you
say the
go.
words "it's not terrible," we will.
Yeah, or give him. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of different. So it's all about drinking. Things you don't like in context. I remember my favorite thing when people come to me is like, I do Scotch drinkers, right? They're like, oh my God, we don't drink any single malt Scotch. Well, we don't like rye. Guess what? They went home with 3 bottles of rye.
Yeah.
I was like, you just have not met the right one. And it's all about not to say that, I can like convince you to do whatever. It's just giving you a chance to try something
Yeah.
and drinking it in context, right?
Oh, yeah.
Drinking it in context so that then you can be a well-rounded drinker, so to speak, and
Mhm.
be able to share more.
And that's
You know?
the same with
And
anything.
it's not exactly. It's
like
not so I can
food
sell
or
more. It's not
anything.
about that.
It's like, oh, I
Right?
don't like bacon. Okay, you haven't had the right kind of bacon yet. Or
Well, they've been saying
Mhm.
that they've been saying about eggs, so I don't eat eggs.
Mhm.
And everybody's like, "You've never had eggs this way." I was like, you know what? I've had eggs pretty much every way I could ever have eggs. Fuck your eggs.
Yeah.
Lumpy is
Really?
pretty trained
I don't eat
in the
eggs.
culinary field, so he has probably cooked
Okay.
eggs in every way possible.
I was classically
Okay.
trained in French fine dining cooking, so I have a culinary
Okay.
background. So I have
Yep.
a fairly decent palate, I think. I don't know.
Mhm.
I've
But-
heard your food is really good.
Yeah.
I've never experienced it, but I've heard you can cook really damn well.
I do okay. The problem with eggs is the taste, the texture, and the smell. Eggs are fart bombs. I don't like the they're just I can't do the texture. Like I can't eat flan.
I think you can put an egg on anything, and I think it's good. So,
I have put an egg on almost anything, and I think it's good.
so
Okay. That was really good hangout, we all.
yeah,
Indeed.
Irene,
Indeed.
it's
Oh, yeah.
been so much fun.
It's been fun.
Ain't no delay. Thanks for talking shit with us today. Hey yo, thanks for talking shit with Lumpy and X. Breaking it down till there's nothing complex. Riding the beat as we close the show. Catch you next time on the late night flow. Spin the dial, rewind the tape. We keep it real, this ain't no escape. Laughs and truth served raw, not sweet. Mic drop, Lumpy and X bring the heat. Hey yo, thanks for talking shit with Lumpy and X. Dropping truths and making you reflect. We out like a jammer, smooth and slow. See you next time where the convos glow. Words in the air as the beat fades out. Lumpy and X, that's what we're about. So keep it locked till the very last say. Thanks for talking shit, we out today. Yo, the time is up. The mic's gone cold. We drop the talk real hot and bold. From Lumpy to General X, ain't no delay. Thanks for talking shit with us today. Hey yo, thanks for talking shit with Lumpy and X. Breaking it down till there's nothing complex. Riding the beat as we close the show. Catch you next time on the late night flow. Spin the dial.